I am live. I am live. I am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Had an absolutely wonderful day today hanging out with the wife. Hope you had a wonderful weekend as well. Hopefully, have a great Sunday. Getting ready to go in, and right after this live, I'm going to go chill and catch a movie. Spend a day with a wife, which is really cool. A low business day today for me, which is a little bit relaxing. It was cool. Did a little bit of follow up, but primarily it was just a me and my wife day, which is pretty cool. Did some yard work. Hurt my back a little bit. Just not very comfortable. I need to get an adjustment here. We'll see how it works out overnight. Anyway, so let's talk about this. So I think I said 4 steps. There might be 5 because I always seem to come up with an extra one in the middle here about generating leads using Facebook and building a business. So one of the things that we're going to talk about, I'm going to walk you through this. 4 simple steps to get leads using a Facebook funnel is actually what I called it. I'm going to talk about that. So have you ever wondered? Have you ever been in a place? It's like, how do I generate leads on Facebook? How do I? And of course, there you can run an ad if you've got that going on for you. One of the things that you can do is you can create a page. You can build a page. You can drive traffic there using advertising, which is one of the techniques that I do. Now, of course, you have to have money to be able to do that, a discretionary income. And if you don't, there's some free ways, some ways to do it with no money out of your pocket. You can actually generate it free or very low cost anyway of doing it. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So basically, when you go through a Facebook Live, and we talked about the Facebook Live formula, for those of you that don't have that, you've liked the Facebook Live formula, shoot me a private message. I'll get that over to you. But more importantly, one of the things that's very, very important that you have is a way to capture leads. And those leads can be, and of course, to build a list. So we talk about leads and list building, because if you don't have a list, you're not going to have anybody to market to. And every business that I've worked in, every company I've ever worked for, their whole primary purpose is to have a big list. And they sometimes they use outside sources. For example, in the car business, lists are built by paying outside agencies for a lead. In other words, for example, in the car business, they use companies like Edmunds and TrueCar and Cars.com, and those companies run advertisements to get you, the consumer, to fill out an information, to get information about an automobile, and then that information as a lead is sent to the dealership, who then has a team of people that respond to you and answer questions about pricing, availability, so on, with the goal of getting you into their dealership for an appointment. But now you're on their list. You're on their list. So the dealership ends up with 2 lists. They have a prospect lead list of people that are interested in their product. And then, of course, they have a customer list. So once the customer comes in and makes a purchase, now that customer is actually in the customer list. So they've got 2 lists going on. So they can remarket or follow-up market to the current customer database, right, for specials that might be coming up for a service department or something like that. Or, of course, once you're in their list looking for a certain product, you're always going to be on that list. So they can always follow up with you with different offerings, whether it's a service offer. Even though you didn't buy a vehicle from them, they can still send you an email, maybe for an oil change coupon or some type of special on your service for your current vehicle. So there's always a way to build a list. The cool thing about that is that list gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger the more they spend on advertising. So how do you build a list without advertising? And that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. So when you have a Facebook Live, and we talked about the Facebook Live formula, we go through the deal, you do the intro like I did. You ask the question just like I said. Hey, have you ever wondered how to use Facebook to get leads? That's what we're going to talk about. So the first thing that you need to do is when you're done with your Facebook Live. Well, let's back this up. I'm going to walk this through, and then I'm going to talk about the first thing you need to do before you do this. So in a Facebook Live, you're going to go through, and of course, this is for marketing purposes. If you're not trying to capture leads or do marketing, then this live isn't going to be for you. It's going to be totally irrelevant. It's just not going to be something that's going to be of any help to you at all. So if you are, however, in network marketing or multi-level marketing or affiliate marketing or direct sales, and you'd like to use, or whatever kind of sales, heck, you can just be in traditional sales and you want to use Facebook to generate leads. So one of the things you have to do is you have to have a call to action at the end of your Facebook Live. And at the end of that Facebook Live, for example, my call to action, I've already presented it, is to get a Facebook Live formula. Now, if I was actually doing a Facebook Live on, say, the 10 steps on how to do something or the 5 steps on how to do something or whatever it is, I would have this. Now, here's how this works. So a couple of things that you're going to need. One is you're going to need a lead magnet. This is very, very powerful. If you're not sure what a lead magnet is, I'm actually going to talk about lead magnets tomorrow on my Facebook Live tomorrow. So we'll talk about lead magnets and the importance of having a lead magnet. Basically, a lead magnet is something that you're going to give to somebody that responds, that has a lot of value for them without having them have to jump through a whole lot of hoops, right? So for example, let's say I was going to, and let's say this Facebook Live is about generating leads on Facebook, and I give you three tips on how to generate leads. Tip 1, tip 2, tip 3. Just like I said, I'm going to give you 4 simple steps. And then at the end of the call, my call to action would be, hey, if you'd like 100 ideas on how to generate leads using, or 100 lead magnet ideas, shoot me a private message and I'll get that over to you. So then you respond and say, hey, I'd like your 100 lead ideas, right? Then you go through that process of like, great. I mean, you might ask a few questions about what are you doing for business, or ask them what kind of business they're in or what they're doing. And then of course, here's where you start to capture the leads, right? Here's how you get the leads. So you do your call to action, you do your 4 steps in your Facebook Live. So I'm giving you 4 simple steps. So step 1 is to have a call to action. Step 2, you're going to get them in a private message. The call to action to send them a private message. Step 2, of course, is to say, hey, great, they're going to reach out to you. They send you the request. You're going to send them a link. You're going to send them a link to your lead magnet. So for example, a call to action might be 100 resources or 100 ideas for lead magnets. So my call to action would be like, hey, if you like 100 resources, 100 resources or 100 ideas for lead magnets, shoot me a private message. I'll get that to you. You then come to my messenger and say, hey, I want those 100 ideas. I'd say, great, here's the link. Now that link is going to go to a landing page, a lead magnet, a squeeze page. I'm creating a lead magnet here. So the lead magnet, it might be a video talking about 100 ideas or whatever. Maybe that's too many. You might go 10 ideas, 10 really cool ideas for lead magnets. And at the end of this, let's back up, let's rewind it. So let's do this and make it a little bit more so it makes more sense. So you go through the Facebook Live, you talk about 4 simple steps to generate leads on Facebook. The call to action is at the end. It says, hey, would you like 10 lead magnet ideas that I use that work very, very well for me to capture leads? If you do, send me a private message to get those over to you. So let's say, hey, Marcia here, I think I'm saying that right. Marcia sends me a private message, says, yes, I want your lead magnet ideas. I say, great, here's a link. Then I send her a link to a landing page, a lead capture page, and I go through those 10 additional steps. Like, here's lead magnet idea number 1, here's lead magnet, I can do it on a video, here's lead magnet number 2, here's lead magnet number 3, here's lead magnet number 4, or I could just simply put them up in a list, put them up in a list with a big call to action on the bottom of that. It says, if you'd like 100 additional lead magnet ideas, give me your email. Cha-ting. Give me your email address, and I'll send those along with templates. So if you like those 100 ideas along with a lead magnet template that you can customize, give me your email address and I'll get those to you. And so they put in their email address. It immediately presents them with the 100 lead magnet ideas and the templates and all that stuff they can download or whatever they need to do to download. So they've got that in their arsenal. You're also going to send them an email that says, hey, thanks for subscribing. Here's the link if you didn't get a chance to look at it earlier. Here's 100 additional ideas for lead magnets and templates. So you also sent them an email. Now they're on your email list. Right now they're on your email list. This is where this gets so much funerific. So we're going to talk about this tomorrow on lead magnets, and I'm going to share a tool with you guys that's freaking so powerful. Right now, when I went live, I just sent a message to my list to tell them that I'm going live. To send them a text message, and it sent them an email message. And I'm going to talk about that resource as well tomorrow. So you definitely want to be here tomorrow. Maybe going live, I don't know what time tomorrow, but I'll definitely let you know. Typically 10:15 on Mondays. I might go a little bit earlier, but typically 10:15 on Monday nights. We're going to talk about lead magnets, and I'm going to talk about this really, really cool tool that I use to be able to, when I build my list, got a big old list. So when I go live, it sends them an email and it sends them a text message. Of course, they can opt out of the text message if they want to. Sends them a text message and says, hey, Forrest just went live on Facebook. The cool thing about Facebook is Facebook's evergreen. So if they don't actually catch me live, they can always come back later and check me out. But I just dropped right in their phone book. So if you really like access to that, you definitely got to join me tomorrow night, because we're going to talk about lead magnets. We're going to talk about those actual 100 ideas for lead magnets, which is cool. Gotcha. But tonight, if you like the Facebook Live formula, shoot me a private message. I'll get those to you. If you definitely want to join me tomorrow, because we're going to dive deep into lead magnets. I love them. I love the idea. It's like my marketing. I love that stuff, right? So I'm going to back this up just a little bit. For those of you that are brand new going, what? I just want to get customers. That goes back to basic good old-fashioned prospecting, where you send out a message and says, hey, I know we don't know each other. I'm expanding my business in the area. I work closely with doctors. I was curious if you might be able to take a look at what I'm doing. If not, absolutely okay, no big deal. If they respond back with a yes, you send them your information video. If they don't respond back, you don't worry about it. If they say no, you say, hey, thanks for replying back. Do you happen to know anybody who wants to make a little bit extra money working on the side? If I show them exactly how to do it. Thank you very much for your time. Bye. So I know that for those of you that thought I was talking really fast, I was. Yep, I'll be on it. Absolutely, Troy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to be talking about lead magnets. I'm going to talk about the tool that I use to broadcast out to my entire list to tell them I'm going live. You guys are going to dig it. It's freaking cool as heck. It's all on, I love stuff that's on autopilot that can syndicate out to multiple places at one time. So I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. On a mission to have no more empty refrigerators. Go ahead and create a legacy, make an extreme impact. Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.